Hello everyone, Ember here, and welcome back to a new video. In this one, I'd like to take a look at a new Mega Lucario deck from the set Mega Evolution, of course. So Mega Lucario has 340 HP, so it's one of the bigger Megas for sure, and it has two really nice attacks, Aura Jab and Mega Brave. I'm not sure why this is, by the way, but for some reason TCG Live has this like really weird lighting effect where like it's a kind of tricky to read some of the cards. So I am hoping that they do remove this eventually, or at least give you the option to turn it down, because in my opinion, it's just a bit much. Like, it's a bit much as a visual filter. But yeah, getting a bit sidetracked there, but it is something annoying that I wanted to voice. But yeah, Mega Lucario has two really nice attacks, Aura Jab and Mega Brave. See how like some of the letters are blurred out for the lighting? It's really weird. But yeah, Aura Jab for one Fighting Energy does 130 damage, which is really nice, just because it's a single energy. So you can just slap an energy on Riolu turn 1, and then turn 2 evolve into Mega Lucario, and then KO an evolving Pokemon and get a prize card, which is really nice. So that does 130 damage, and you get to accelerate up to 3 basic Fighting cards from your discard pile. It's kind of tricky to read there. From your discard pile to your bench Pokemon in any way you like, which is really nice. Now, I know that you can play this build with Makihita, but I'm trying out a list from Japan that's actually not playing any. So this attack will only be used to charge up other Mega Lucarios. And I am playing Acerola in this deck as well. So like you can even play like Wally's Compassion if you really wanted to. I think Wally's Compassion could be a really good supporter here as well. But yeah, I just wanted to try out this build for now. So yeah, Aura Jab only charging up other Mega Lucarios. But then Mega Brave does 270 damage for 2 Fighting Energy. And during your next turn, this Pokemon can't use Mega Brave. But, you know, 270 is an awful lot of damage, especially if you just smacked something for 130, like you will just knock it out. But also you can hit something for 270 plus the new item card, Premium Power Pro, which if I scroll down to see it here, lets you do plus 30 damage for a turn. Now, we only have 4 of these in the deck because you can only run 4 copies. So you do have to be careful about when you use them, like you have to time them well. So like worst case scenario, you have to play a research and you discard a bunch of them. So like maybe you might want to like lean into more copies of Lillie or Iono. But this particular build was running heavy research, which I'm assuming is more to do with like accelerating the energy for Aura Jab. But again, just like be careful when using Mega Brave, I guess, because you know you don't want to use all your Premium Power Pros before you have to use them, basically. But yeah, also weakness to Psychic is a bit unfortunate. Like I don't think Mega Lucario is going to be a super great deck just because of it. Like I think it'll be absolutely fine for the ladder. But, you know, obviously, like at the higher end tables, you're going to run into Gardevoir and stuff. And I think Gardevoir is going to be a menace until it rotates at this point. So, yeah, Gardevoir and any other Psychic deck, for that matter, that rises up through the ranks, yeah, is going to be a pain for Mega Lucario, sadly. But apart from that, the HP is really nice, so you're quite tanky anyway. Also has a retreat cost of 2, so we get to play Air Balloon in this deck, which is great. I think Makihita might actually, or was it Hariyama? Might have like a relatively high retreat cost. We can actually just check this right now. I think it's like 3 or something. So yeah, it has a retreat cost of 3. So if you run Hariyama, then you have to kind of like run switches, which can get a bit annoying. But yeah, just because you're running Mega Lucario in this build, it means that you don't have to run like awkward switches. You could just run air balloons, which is really cool. So we can talk about the other aspect about this deck, which is really good, and that is Lunatone. What an amazing card this is. Has the ability Luna Cycle, which says once your turn, if you have Solrock in play, you can discard a basic French card from your hand, and then you get to draw 3 cards, which is fantastic. It's a single prize draw engine, plus it also powers up our Aura Jab, which is great. So also, Solrock is not actually that useless. Like Cosmic Beam does 70 damage if you have Lunatone on the bench, which is basically just like Fan Rotom, if like slightly easier, honestly, to get this powered up, because like Fan Rotom requires you to have a stadium, and stadiums are kind of tricky to track down if you're not running 4 copies of them. So having a Solrock that can just poke for 17 in the early game is really nice. It also gives you an option against Mimikyu, which is always cool. So yeah, I like Solrock. It's also your only way of punching through what was it called? The what's it called? Cornerstone Ogapon, I think it is. Yeah, it's been a while since I played this game actually. I think it's Cornerstone Ogapon, yeah, the one that like blocks Pokemon with abilities. Although actually, I don't know why I'm saying that, because Mega Lucario doesn't have an ability. But, you know, like it still kind of applies to any Pokemon that would block, you know, like Mega Lucario. So, and I think we will see a Mimikyu in the future that just says something like, oh, prevent all damage onto this Pokemon by Mega Evolutions or something. So, yeah, if we haven't already seen one from Inferno X. So, yeah, I do like Solrock. I think it's a really nice single prize attacker while you're building up other Lucarios. But as for some of the other cards in this deck, the big new one is, of course, Lillie's Determination, which is just a simple Cynthia kind of style card. Shuffle your hand to your deck, then draw 6. But if you have exactly 6 prize cards remaining, then draw 8 instead, which is really nice. You know, if you have to go second, or even if you have to go first, actually, and you don't get a KO the next turn, then it's really nice to be able to just shuffle draw 8 for a few turns. That's really cool. Again, this build wants to be a bit more aggressive, so I think it makes sense that it only runs 2 Lilies. And like you're only playing stage 1 Pokemon. Like you don't need Arven for TM evolution. And like you're running Nest Balls and Gongs over Puffin, so I don't think Arven's like that important. You could play Arven if you want to lean into the tools, and to be fair, the ace spec of this deck is a tool card. But honestly, I don't think Arven is necessary for this build. Like maybe for Makahita, but even then, like you don't want to TM Evo or Hariyama. that defeats the purpose of Hariyama. So yeah, that's late determination. 2 copies of Air Balloon, like we mentioned before. Another new card. It's actually going to be Fighting Gong, which says search your deck for a basic Fighting Energy card or a basic Fighting Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand, which is really nice. So it's kind of like Earthen Vessel, which is another card you do actually play in this list. But Fighting Gong is just great. It's basically just another Nest Ball, but I still play Nest Ball as well because it was in the original list. So I want to try out both of them, of course. But yeah, I do really like Fighting Gong. It just means your deck is so much more consistent, and it means you can easily find Lunatone Solrock, and more importantly, the basic Fighting Energy. As for some other new cards, we do have Acerola's Mischief, which says you can only use this card if your opponent has 2 or fewer prize cards remaining, and you choose one of your Pokemon in play, and during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage from and effects of attacks done to that Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon EX, which is useful. And it's useful because you want your opponent to do things like KOing a Riolu in the early game. You know, you want to force them to KO with Solrock at some point. So when they eventually deal with Lucario, they then go down to 2 prize cards, right? So they're KOing Lucario, they KO a single prize Pokemon, so they've taken their 4 prize cards. Because like if you like, it's not a bad option, but if you run Pheasantipity in this deck, what can happen is that, say your opponent KOs Pheasantipity, right? So they're down to 4 prizes already. If they KO Mega Lucario, they're down to 1 prize. So at that point, all they have to do is boss, and they can just boss like a Lunatone and they've won. Whereas with Acerola's Mischief, and without Pheasantipity, or more importantly, just 2 prize Pokemons in general, it's so much harder for your opponent to actually take all 6 prizes, because either they have to go through 2 Mega Lucario, or they have to go through a Mega Lucario, a single prize Pokemon, and another Mega Lucario, which is what you want, really. So, like, I don't hate Pheasantipity in these lists, but I don't think it's really necessary when Lunatone lets you draw 3 cards, right? Pretty much every turn. So, yeah, that's why Acerola's Mischief, is a really good card. Also, Maximum Belt, because plus 50 damage is funny. So, yeah, we need the damage. Also got Town Store, because Town Store is great here. It's a good stadium. Like, you could play Gravity Mountain. Like, honestly, the list that TCU Live gives you isn't that bad. I just think Squawkabilly and Pheasant are just a bit too much of a liability in a deck that really wants to exploit the 3 prize nature of Mega Lucario. But yeah, let me know what you think about this list down below. And yeah, thank you for watching. So we go, Iron Hands. I'm guessing my opponent might concede if they don't get another Joltik down. Might do. Depends what else they're running. Like, they could be running generators. I can't actually remember what Pikachu runs these days. But yeah, we one-shot everything in their deck with Lucario. We just can't really one-shot Pikachu, which is kind of annoying. But they can also, like, Maximum Belt or Defiance Band Pikachu to knock out. Well, they'd have to Maximum Belt it, but they can knock out Mega Lucario. It is possible. So next turn we have options, really. We could boss Pikachu with Solrock, actually. So they get the boss. That's fine. Because we know they're going to do some shenanigans. They get Town Store. That's fine. We knew that was going to happen. Air Balloon, fine. Air Balloon the Miraidon. So they get Joltik. Get energy on Joltik. Did they play a support already? No, I was going to say. Okay, so they have Crispin. Crispins. Metal Energy. A Psychic Energy? What else are they playing this with, then? Yeah. Okay. I'm kind of thinking that we could just... I kind of think we could just tank through it, actually. Yeah, because they're going to cheat the prize race with this, but like I still think we can just tank through this. I would like some more Pokemon though. Don't rush me, I'm not doing anything. Ultra Ball away. Solrock, I guess. I don't want to lose a Premium Power Pro, but I think we're hitting so much damage it doesn't really matter. Get another one of these guys down. Our dudes are probably going to get sniped, but I guess it's wise to hit this now. I don't know, decisions. But I think this is still like an okay spot to be in. We'll just force him to use the boss. Or save it for later when they have to like bring up Iron Hands. Maybe I'm throwing this game and I'm missing something really obvious. Right, Fighting Gong's pretty good. I probably should have Fighting Gong last turn for another energy actually and put it on Riolu. It's interesting that they're using Iron Hands first. Just because I thought they'd want to save that for Mega Lucario, but they might just have a second one ready to go. Okay, Lillie's Clefairy, that's fine. Lillie's Clefairy is a problem, to be fair. Okay. So we know they have a Psychic in hand, so they can probably crisp it next turn. Can we one-shot that? Yeah, we can. Can they one-shot us, though? I don't think they can, even with weakness. Make sure the capsule doesn't do anything weird. Yeah, just no retreat cost. So we could boss Clefairy now, but I think we can just punch this, remove it from the game. Fighting Gong. Get an energy. Only one energy left as well. Kind of awkward. Put energy down here, I guess. I mean, we're going to be attaching energy anyway. Could evolve the other one. I don't think it matters too much, but just in case they use like Iono or something. I don't think we need a boss, to be honest. I don't think we need a tool card out of the deck either. Yes, I think I just want to do this. It's just a bit weird because like we can one-shot anything, pretty much. Yeah, I'll probably just attach this here. And then that there, I guess. Yeah, that seems fine. Because we can also like juice up this Lunatone to KO something if we really need it to. But they're probably going to hit us with Iono this turn anyway. So yeah, we're still in a good spot. Town Store also gets us Maximum Belt, so like we could juice up Lunatone for a 1-hit KO that way. So Lunatone could do like 100 base. 100 base with a Premium Power Pro still knocks out Maridon. Or Pheasant Tipsy. So like they have to Iono this turn. So like maybe I should have gonged for a Solrock actually, if there was one in deck. Oh no, both of them was discarded anyway. I mean, we still have Night Stretcher somewhere. I think we've got plenty of chances to win still. Could maybe put like Air Balloon down, but you see, even if they want to kill a Mega Lucario here, I still think we just win. Like they would have to, yeah, they would have to get rid of my boss basically. Like they would have to get rid of boss, Maximum Belt the Pikachu want to kill Mega Lucario. Okay, yeah, fair dues. Mew EX would have been a pain though if they'd got it set up quicker.